more you tighten your grip, Tuck, the more star systems will slip through your fingers.
Nerdrotic.com.
Go outside, breathe in some fresh air, break a sweat, put your phone down for a couple of hours and be present. Smile at a stranger, give your loved ones hugs. Take care of yourself so you can be healthy to help take care of others when the time comes, and continue on. Wise words from the very dangerous Gina Carano, and it's tweets like this, along with manipulated and misunderstood political analogies that led to her being fired from Disney Star Wars, because common sense breaks false narratives. Disney has a very big problem on their hands, and one that they created, not the fandom. Now it's affecting YouTube. Now it's affecting you and I, because Disney is afraid of their audience. They are afraid of the truth. Instead of maybe working with their audience and maybe trying to communicate with them, they are trying to silence them, silence us. And this is just the first step. Yes, we're going to talk about the rule change on YouTube. Yes, we're going to talk about, once again, the firing of Gina Carano and how that has affected Disney Star Wars. Let's talk about brand association just for a moment, and karma. Now, Disney Star Wars has been trying to associate my brand, Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers brand, Jeremy at the Quarterings brand, and many others with a lot of groups out there. Yahtzees, white supremacists, and other ridiculous accusations. Why have they been doing that? Because they want to silence us. They want to conflate us with that. That's what they've been doing to Gina as well, to make their firing justified and to make their accusations justified. Disney is too far into the game to backpedal and admit that they did something wrong here. Now they have to see it through. A lot of people in this country associate Disney with cancel culture. That's why I call it Disney-sponsored cancel culture. To bounding into comics, YouTube under fire after announcing that public dislikes will be hidden. Some content creators speculate Disney Star Wars is to blame. Well, all I am legally allowed to do is speculate in this video. YouTube announced today that they will be testing a new design that will hide dislikes from the public. What's more, the video sharing website claims that content creators' feedback has been taken into account in order to make this decision. I'm sure they took Disney into account and Warner Brothers and all the alphabet networks. I highly doubt they took any actual content creators' opinions into account, but if you were contacted, I would love to hear it. Now, what does this have to do with Gina Carano, a YouTube rule change? Absolutely everything, in my opinion. According to this recently revealed information, only some users will see dislikes being hidden from the videos they watch, with YouTube adding that this experiment is only temporary. Well, I'm seeing a bit of history repeat. This is Captain Marvel all over again with Rotten Tomatoes, except this time YouTube is bending the knee to Disney. Now, they have done this in the past. They have bent the knee to their competition over and over again when they could crush them whenever they want, if they actually had the creators back. Now, of course, YouTube comes out and says they're doing this for our safety and looking out for our well-being. Well, currently, I'm on vacation. Now, my response to Gina's tweet was, well said. Now back to recording a video in a hotel room, which led to some pretty well-earned jokes. But this is that video. And yes, I am concerned for my well-being and the well-being of my fellow creators, and that's exactly why I'm making this. How about not making decisions without actually consulting us, YouTube, if you actually cared about our well-being? Now, I know there are some people who work at YouTube who are looking out for us. Unfortunately, they're not the ones in charge. In response to creator feedback around well-being and targeted dislike campaigns, remember that, we're testing a few new designs that don't show the public dislike count. If you're part of this small experiment, you might spot one of these designs in the coming weeks. Examples below reads YouTube's announcement on their official Twitter account, one that came as a complete surprise to all of us. Now, considering targeted dislike campaigns? Well, there's a targeted deplatforming campaign going on right this minute. The only thing I hate is giving these young ladies more attention. This entire article was centered around my good friend Ryan Kinnell from RK Outpost. It mentioned yours truly, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, and Jeremy from The Quartering. And thanks to Jeremy from The Quartering and Data Racer on Twitter for exposing these young ladies. Now, their information was out there. I am not for doxing in any way, shape, or form, but when you anonymously try to deplatform people, well, karma is a bitch. And apparently there is some association with Disney. They might have been former employees. There's a lot of videos out there, a lot of information. Go follow Data Racer. Go to Jeremy at The Quartering. Go watch his videos on the subject. They will give you the details, which I'm not going to go into here. This is just an example of the deep platforming that's going on right now that YouTube is not lifting a finger to do anything about. And the narrative continues thanks to Disney employees, former Disney employees, Raylos, members of the Access Media, and willing and able members of the mainstream media that Disney partially owns. And let's not forget former U.S. senators. Gina Carano describes being called a Yahtzee by former U.S. Senator Heidi Heitkamp as the dehumanizing phase of cancel culture. Gina Carano has responded to the false accusations made by Heidi Heitkamp that the former Mandalorian actress is a Yahtzee and a white supremacist, describing the former North Dakota senator, thank God she's a former senator's rhetoric, as the dehumanizing phase of cancel culture.
Who was the woman in the Mandalorian? What did she do? She liked something?
She was a Nazi.
Oh, that's different, right? I'm thinking of somebody else.
You see, it's just one big joke to people like the frumpy former senator from North Dakota because she's not going to pay any consequences. I would love for Gina to sue her pantsuit off, but she's protected by her party. She's protected by big tech. She's protected by the big corporations. And this is what Disney-sponsored cancel culture does. I doubt she even knew who Gina Carano was 2 weeks ago. She was just downloaded some information and passed it on because that's her job.
Well, she's not a Nazi.
She's a white. She's
involved with white supremacy. You're calling her
She's called other people Nazis.
Right.
Which is the Nazi.
Okay, everyone's a Nazi now.
Yeah.
She does hang with white supremacists.
It's like a Mel Brooks
She does?
movie.
Yeah.
Hangs with white.
I suppose I'm now subject to defamation.
Here's another example, not that we needed it, of exactly how this works. Unfortunately, we have to talk about the Rewriting Ripley article one more time briefly because it got a signal boost from Jack Packard from Red Letter Media. Most of us assumed there wasn't a real huge divide about The Last Jedi, which is hilarious coming from a channel that made 2 videos shredding The Last Jedi to a combined 10 million views. But to see it broken down like this, clear timeline, proper citation, statistical analysis, linking the alt-right culture war to Star Wars hate as a gateway drug. Terrifying. Again, I have already gone over this article in detail on many live streams. Not going to go over it again. It's filled with misinformation, and Jack is just passing it on willingly. Now, I am not going to assume that Jack's views are the same as Mike or Rich's over at Red Letter Media. I still respect the channel, and you'll probably see one of their videos following this one. But I'd be happy to debate Jack on any of those citations anytime, any place. This is how it works. Repeat the lie enough until it becomes the truth. Anyhow, Aiden Paladin really says it best. If you think this is properly cited in statistical analysis, I have a bridge to sell you. This is the problem of scientism, Jack, that if someone makes it up and pops it into a data visualizer, others will look at it and think, wow, looks legitimate, when it's not. This has been brought up before, but it bears repeating. Here's my mention in that article. YouTuber Nerdrotic even suggests that Thor Love and Thunder director Taika Waititi wants to destroy Marvel mythos by including a female Thor, the all-too-common narrative across all spaces that suggests that women and minorities are destroying culture. Just to be absolutely clear, I do not think women and minorities are destroying culture. I think political extremists are destroying culture. Then, of course, there's the fact that Taika Waititi did say, I'll ruin your mythos in a minute. So there's that, and now YouTube is perfectly willing to go along with the Disney-sponsored Cancel culture. I understand that YouTube and the Disneys of the world and all the other corporations, which there's a lot fewer of these days, hold all the cards. They own the infrastructure and they can silence us whenever they want, but they can't do it forever. The one thing you cannot control is the fandom. And now we're entering a brave new world where the fandom that these corporations rely on to click on those ads on those websites or pay for those streaming services is now the competition. This is constructive criticism. I am looking out for the platform that I am on along with many others. Make it a choice. If somebody wants to remove the dislikes, which I think they can already do, then do it by all means. But you know why they don't do it? Because it negatively affects your channel. The one thing that puts YouTube above all others, like I said before, is that real time audience interaction. This is what makes YouTube king. Anyone can turn on a camera, talk into a microphone, and connect with somebody. Hollywood cannot compete with that. That's why I have made this analogy before. We are the meteor descending on the dinosaur legacy entertainment industry and the dinosaur legacy media. And they know it, and they are scared. We are already starting to see some of these quote-unquote institutions fail, as they should. Unless, of course, the platform that I'm on right now decides to bend the knee to its own competition again, which will lead to the destruction of YouTube. It's simple as that. It's not just about a dislike button, because that's just another step. Then it's the comment sections. Then it's the live chat. Then you don't have a platform. I have a lot more to say on this, but I have very little time because I'm on vacation. So please like, share, and subscribe. Share this video around as much as possible and leave a comment below while you still can. And yes, even like or dislike the video, because I am not afraid of that. A little unsolicited advice for anyone who is considering creating content on this platform or any other. If a dislike is going to bother you, if a bad comment is going to get under your skin, then maybe YouTube isn't for you. Go ahead and work on that self-esteem, work on that confidence. It makes for a better life. Now, if this all ends tomorrow, I am grateful. I am grateful to YouTube for providing the opportunity for me to do this and have the best job in the world. But most of all, I am grateful to you, the audience, who I do need to hear from in real time. And I want other people to see what the audience thinks of my videos. That's how it works. And that's what makes YouTube special. I can't prove that Disney is using all of its might to get YouTube to bend the knee. And I can't prove that the Gina Carano firing has Disney scared to death that it's going to be a stigma on their brand for years to come, but I can speculate as long as I'm allowed to. And so can you in the comments section below. All right, I'm going to get back to vacation, which in truth is house hunting, so I can get the hell out of California. I apologize for the uneven sound and the green screen, but if that's what it takes to bring you content, so be it. We're going to end it with this. Gina Carano won Twitter for the year on April 1st, 2021 with this tweet. Thanks, Bob. While Bob Iger is wearing a Gina Carano did nothing wrong shirt. No, Gina, you didn't do anything wrong, and neither did the fandom, and you will not be silenced. I'll see you in the next video.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.